Hello, welcome to another price talk video where I'll take a look at the chart for Injective, Polkadot and Manta network. So we've got quite a bit to talk about here, but overall we're not looking great. The market is starting to go on that downtrend, and we're clearly seeing that with Injective here on the 1 hour chart. As you can see, the last high that we had here was on the 29th of January when the market started getting a bit bullish again thanks to Bitcoin. Injective has put in his new high here. It went to $39.38.9, and then it just started pulling back. At least it broke out of this last downtrend that we've seen here, right? So at least there was some bullish momentum. It just wasn't able to continue it. Okay, so this was definitely the most bullish momentum we've had in the last while, but now it looks like it just wanted to go back down. So we're either consolidating or it's forming that shape where it just wants to go further down and break below. But as long as it doesn't lose this area of support here, which is around $30, I think we should be okay. Okay, I'm pretty hopeful here that we're not going to lose it, but anything is possible because we don't know. Many people are saying we are in a bull market, and yeah, I think we are in a bull market, but then you got to question what's really going on, because it doesn't really feel like a proper bull market yet, right? We've had that really nice run. It lasted for a while, but now it just seems like it was getting quite bearish. And I'm not sure if it's just before the halving. It could be. It just feels to me like we're not really getting that full-blown bull market vibe that we used to see. Of course, there are a lot of airdrops, there are a lot of announcements, and teams are trying to hype things up, but we're just not seeing the same kind of vibe that we've seen in 2021. Not even what we've seen in 2017. And in 2017, it definitely wasn't as hyped as 2021. I'm just trying to say here that it feels like they're forcing a comeback without actually coming back, if you know what I mean. It seems to be kind of the same people in crypto, just jumping around from airdrop opportunity to airdrop opportunity. So we're just not seeing that new user base show interest in crypto, at least not yet in my personal opinion. So yeah, now that Injective is trading at $33.40, it's not looking good here on the 21-day moving average. As you can see, it's just trying to break it here. It's struggling to break it, but it has been trading below it, and is not even able to get back to the 50-day moving average here on the 1 hour chart to 33.78. For the past day or so, it's just been struggling as we've seen this massive drop here. So yeah, absolutely. We're definitely going to see it get back even to the 100-day moving average, right to the red line. We can revisit 34.80 probably, because this is going to continue to go down and it might not reach it for a while. So it may see like 34.80 and then it might just pull back down. But we have attempted to go past it here. As you can see, we've just touched it and then we dropped, right? So now the question is, when will it touch it again? Well, first it has to touch the 50-day, of course, the green line, and then we can expect the 100-day to be touched on the 1 hour chart. But it's only been 2 days, to be fair, since it touched the red one. So it could be another couple of days before we'll see it touch it once again. And I am expecting it to be lower than it was before. So maybe around 34.50 or so. I'm not looking to take a trade right now. I would have liked to, but I'm just not comfortable enough because I'm not seeing a confirmation. But given that 9 minutes ago we've started a new bar, we don't know how it's going to end up, right? So we don't know if it's going to end up in green or if it's going to end up in red, considering that we did have this wide range green bar here. So yeah, if I was to take a trade here, I would probably not get a very good risk to reward ratio, given that we are in this downtrend. Like, I would be more comfortable to wait for it to touch the 50-day moving average. And then if I see an aggressive push to the upside here, then I would be looking to maybe short here and then try to set a stop loss maybe higher up here, maybe like to this high here, just to give it some room, probably around to this area, right? And then maybe set my stop loss further down so that in case I do get stopped, I can at least walk out with some profit. So just like a really, really short trade here, basically a scalp that might turn out to be a profitable one here rather than a buy long here. Because if I was to buy long here, it's possible that I could get 40 cents out of this, but there's also the risk that I might not get the 40 cents and then I would be risking losing more, if I do get stopped out. So if I'm going to be stopped out, I want to get at least a good risk to reward ratio. And to me, like the best risk to reward ratio would have been around here when we started getting the green bar. I could have bought here on the second green bar and then set my stop loss below this low here. And then, you know, I'm almost would have been stopped out. I wouldn't have been stopped out, but almost. Overall, it closed in green and it was bullish. So yeah, could have ridden this quite nicely, and then I would have still been in the trade. But because I didn't take it, I just feel like it's not the right time right now, given that we are in this downtrend on the 1 hour chart. When we're trading below the 100-day moving average, the red line, we're in a downtrend. And so, you know, I prefer to play the shorts rather than the longs, unless I get confirmation. A breakout above this area here, if it takes out this high here, which was 35.57, then I would be looking to take a long. But until that happens, you know, I'm just not comfortable to take a long here. I would be taking a short if the opportunity presents itself. Like I said, probably around the 50-day moving average, just for a short-term play here. 40 to 50 cents should be enough for me here. So I'll have to see, and I'll have to analyze if I can get that opportunity. Now looking at DOT here. So we had the peak here at 958, then we went down. We had another peak at 877. And then we had a low which matched this low here. So that's the area of support. Okay, 650 is a good area of support for DOT. When Bitcoin went to 48K, we tried to go higher, of course, and we weren't able to break this previous high. Okay, and then we pulled back down, all the way down below this area of support. Okay, so we've got a new area of support here. And then we went back up, but we weren't able to break past this area here. So as you can see now, this area is acting as resistance. Okay, so we're at 672 right now. It's not looking great because we do have that crossover here of the 21-day moving average, which is the white line, crossing below the 50-day moving average, which is the green line. And like I said to you in previous videos, with this setup that I've got here with these moving averages, this is the smoothed moving average, by the way, and they work really well. They give you an indicator here of what you can expect, right? A higher probability of it further dumping because of this crossover. So ideally, I should have taken a trade as soon as I saw the white line get close to the green line here, and I knew that the crossover was imminent. Like, this was a perfect opportunity that I was given here, given that the price started to get bullish again, and it was just about to touch it. Like, there was definitely a high probability that it would have just touched this and then dumped down because of the position of the white line. We already had a crossover below the 100-day, and then it was about to cross over below the 51. Now, taking a trade here would have been okay as well, of course, because of this position, because you would see that it is crossing below the 100-day, and given the direction of the white line, it did look very likely that it would eventually cross below the 50-day, the green line. Okay, so taking one here for a short would have been okay as well, but taking one here would have been the easy money, because this was like, okay, it's bullish again. It's probably going to touch this because we are in a downtrend. So we're probably going to be able to get some sort of gain out of this. Not a lot, but something. So as you can see, if we would have taken a trade here at 680, we would have gotten 10 cents out of this, okay, which is pretty good given the price of DOT. 10 cents is good with enough leverage. Of course, it's all about risk to reward here. So it depends on your risk. If you're willing to lose no more than $500, for example, you got to calculate that leverage accordingly, okay, to not lose more than that, because you need to set a stop loss. So to me, a good stop loss would have been just above the red line, because to be fair, there was a possibility, like a small one, I'm not saying it definitely could have happened, but there was a small possibility here that it could have tested the red line and then dumped, just because of the way this moved. It was quite bullish, okay, but it did lose fuel here, as you can see. So, you know, just because of that small possibility, I would have felt more comfortable to set a stop loss maybe around here just to give it some room. So maybe like 690 stop loss, 670 take profit, maybe even lower, maybe wait for lower prices because it could go lower. I did go to 669 here. It could continue to go lower here on the 1 hour chart given the position of this, but I'm not happy to take a short right now because we are in this small area of support here. So I know that it could go down further just because of the way this is positioned and the shape, but what's it to stop from going back up here? So I'm personally going to wait for this. It's a bit too late for me, but just for a quick scalp, you know, this would have been a good opportunity. So yeah, overall, DOT is in a downtrend, so we're not out of the woods just yet. It has failed to put in a new high here. As you can see, we went to 728. It wasn't able to break higher up. It just pulled back down. The sellers crept in. It's unfortunate, you know, and we are looking like we're going to go back down once again. We'll have to see if this area of support around 660 holds. And then we've got this area here around 620, which I'm assuming we're probably going to revisit again, unfortunately. I hope not, but it does look like we are going to probably revisit it. And finally, let's take a look at Manta Network. Now, Manta Network, you know, the last time I covered Manta Network, we were up here. And I did tell you that it does look like a double top here. It doesn't look very bullish, but and it was anyone's guess of what could happen. But it looks like it did dump in the end. It looks like it took the way down because it was over pumped here, overly hyped. The market wasn't doing great, and then the sellers just creeped in here and dumped the heck out of it here. As you can see, we are in a downtrend here, and what did I tell you? When the green line and the white line crosses the red line, which is the 100-day moving average, it's usually a bearish sign here. So we've got the bearish alert here with this crossover. It's very, very likely, I'm not saying 100%, once again, I like to say 60% because you can never be too sure, but 60% probability of a further dump here. Now, would I take the short right now? Probably not. I probably could risk it, but the risk to reward is not that great as it would have been around here because I missed this crossover, unfortunately, on the 1 hour chart. If I would have taken this trade yesterday at 1 o'clock, my time would have been perfect because that's when we saw the crossover here. And even taking the trade here, because you could see it was trying to break above the 21-day moving average. It couldn't. It bounced back down. Sellers are creeping in. It tried again. It just about peekabooed above it. Drop back down. Sellers are creeping in. Tried again. Sellers creeped in. So this was a sign that it just couldn't, right? So this would have been a nice trade to take here as we were getting closer to that crossover below. This is a bearish signal here. So taking this trade around $3.05 and riding it all the way down here to 270. This would have been such a sweet trade here. Over 30 cents on this trade with 10x leverage. That's what, 100, probably 100, over 100% in profit here. You know, just to take this short scalp here, which would have been really, really nice, you know. Yeah, right now, I mean, like I said, it could go down further, but I'm just not seeing the risk to reward right now. I mean, there is some potential that it could drop to around this area and potentially even further down here, but it's not guaranteed. But it does look like it wants to go all the way back down. Like, it looks like it wants to retest this initial area that we've seen. So I do expect that it's going to hold around 250 very, very well, right? I don't expect it to dump further down than 250 unless Bitcoin does something crazy. But if Bitcoin doesn't do anything crazy, I could potentially see it go down another 20 cents here because this area of support right now, it's very slim, it's not strong. There's a lot of bearish momentum. We've got this crossover here. So to me, 250 looks very likely here. So I could possibly get a 20 cents out of this. I could possibly set the stop loss maybe around here to give it some room, 280, you know. Is the risk to reward good? Not so good as it would have been here, but it's still something, right? For a quick trade. So I'm considering this, right? I am considering taking this trade now for a short now just to give it a shot, you know, to see if it works out for me. And I'll let you know if I do take it in the end and how it worked out. But thank you for watching today's video. Let me know your thoughts. Like, how do you feel about the market right now? Are you feeling bearish? Are you feeling bullish? Do you think the hype has died out? Is it just one of those moments before the halving? And do we need to wait for the halving to pass to really see that bullish vibe return and for people to see those gains once again like we've seen in November and December? Thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.